righty, here we go. Thursday on the program. Good to have you on board. JD here, loaded up, ready to be accessed. We always appreciate when you take some of your time to spend it with us here on the program, where intellectual anarchy is encouraged and nurtured. For now, Marcelo working the dials. It's day 2 of the Charles Experience, helping us produce the program. Well, Brad is vacationing down in Hawaii. Oh, I got an email from somebody that says, hey, you know what you guys should do is you should have like a JD cruise, where we take everybody, we invite the listeners to be a part of it, except Brad.
Hey.
Right? That's the way we get even. And Brad has to sit here and mind the fort and play endless best-of segments of this program, which we think, by the way, is the most fun radio show that you're going to find on your radio dial, in a somewhat political bent, I guess. But we always try and find the humor wherever the humor exists. So, Charles, welcome back again, day 2, with us through till next Friday, when Brad is going to be joining us back on the show Monday the 27th, when we kick off the Republican National Convention. And oh boy, is it going to be great, in the words of Flounder. Poll question up there for you today. Should we get Flounder on the program? I haven't talked to him in a while.
Stephen First?
Stephen First?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Flounder. You know what I'll do? I'll kick you his phone number and his email address and see if we can get him on the program for absolutely no reason at all, just because he's Flounder and he's a fun guy, and I just want to catch up with him and see what he's doing. There's supposedly a big Babylon 5 reunion next May, I think it is, or something like that, in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know all the details yet, but somebody just said, are you interested in coming to the reunion? And I go, yeah, if I'm alive. A few of the cast members have since departed since we did the series, but I guess that's what, 2013? We started the series in oh my God, it's 20 years?
Wow.
I don't know if I want to go. That's going to be like, see if you can get me a wheelchair or a walker or something so that I'll be able to attend with the rest of my castmates. 20-year reunion of Babylon 5 next year in Phoenix, Arizona. Anyway, there you have it. Poll question up there for you today at the website, jerrydoyle.com. Here's a goodie for all of those who are excited about Paul Ryan being added to the Romney ticket because of Paul Ryan's roadmap, his path to prosperity. Byron York, writing in the Washington Examiner, the headline, Ryan abandons part of Ryan plan, end quote. The plan that was going to bring spending under control, reduce the debt, balance the budget, and reform Medicare. And Ryan is abandoning the Ryan plan so that he's more in line with Mitt Romney plan. And I asked, what do you say about that? 2% say it's a smart political move. 25% say it was a necessary political move. 13% say it's a really dumb move. And 61% say, Ron Paul, anyone? We'll take your answer there at the website or here at 800-876-4123. I'm looking at Mitt Romney right now, standing in front of some gated whatever it is. What's with the whiteboard? Everybody's got a whiteboard. It started with the architect of the biggest political ass-kicking of all time, Karl Rove, who lost the White House, the House, and the Senate. Way to go, Karl. Hell of an architect. He started with the whiteboard. Then you got the bowling guy on Fox. He's doing the whiteboard. Now Mitt Romney's out there with the whiteboard. Now, this is a party that needs to show diversity. Why not go with the old tried-and-true blackboard with white chalk? I mean, I don't know. Do something different. But everybody's got the whiteboard. Look at us. We're white guys with a whiteboard. Here we go. Here's the message that we're trying to send. Let's take a look at this. Oh, by the way, I have been scouring the Drudge Report, which is show prep for Republican Talk Radio, and I see no mention of Paul Ryan abandoning the Ryan plan. I see no mention of Byron York, who is a Fox News contributor and a go-to GOP guy, hell of a good writer, smart dude. There's no mention of his story about Ryan abandoning the Ryan plan. And there's no link to any audio from Charles Krauthammer. Charles Krauthammer of Fox News. You see him all during the day. You see him on Bill O'Reilly. You see him on the focus group Phony Hannity. You see him on Greta Van Susteren. But this is what he had to say on a roundtable on Fox News about Paul Ryan's path to prosperity.
The details of the Ryan plan have some things which don't mesh with what Romney is running on and which are a little harder to defend. And I think what Ryan has to say is, look, I proposed the plan in Congress. It was a congressional plan. It was rejected by the Democratic Senate and by the president. It is now history.
Yes, it was rejected by the Democrat Senate and by the president, but it was almost unanimously voted for by the House Republicans. The House Republicans are now going to have to back away from the Ryan plan after they voted for it. So what do they say when they go back to their district? The Medicare cuts, which they already voted in favor of, the Medicare reform that they already backed, the budget that they got behind, what do they do when they go back to their districts? And people say, well, wait a minute, I thought that was what we needed to do to save the country. Yeah, but I thought that the Ryan roadmap, the path to prosperity, was the future of the Republican Party. And that Paul Ryan was the guy, in Rush Limbaugh's words, who finally was a voice for the Republican Party, able to get the message out. And now the message is Paul Ryan and the Ryan plan are no longer why Paul Ryan was brought on as the VP. Does anybody out there have a problem with that? Uh-oh. It's easy now, Charles. Don't rain on anybody's victory parade there, okay? I mean, think about this. I understand politically, and for those of you who said it was a necessary political move, 25% of you on the poll question, I understand that. Because now Romney can say, well, I'm going to restore the $716 billion in cuts to Medicare that Obama said he was going to cut. But on Ryan's plan, the people that are going to be most likely to be upset about the cuts will be the people 55 and over, which the Ryan plan excludes because he's not going to touch them. And then what happens to people saying, well, do you believe that 60 Minutes edited out a section where Paul Ryan, sitting there with Mitt Romney, was talking about how his mother's on Medicare and, you know, his mother is all supportive of the reforms of Medicare that are needed? Well, what was that all about? Was that just BS too? Because Ryan, without the Ryan roadmap, Ryan, without the path to prosperity, is what? Just another white guy who voted with George Bush 94% of the time. He voted for TARP. And this is what I heard from people calling the show, sending emails. This is what I heard from the Republican punditry. Okay, fine, so he voted for TARP. Sure, he abandoned his principles to preserve the free market system just like George Bush. Okay, fine, so he supported and voted for the bailouts of General Motors and Chrysler. And yes, he voted for the expansion of Medicare Part D, a $1 trillion program that wasn't paid for. And fine, he supported the expansion of Section 8 vouchers. And okay, so he was on board with No Child Left Behind. But going forward, the reason Ryan's on the ticket is because he has the plan for the future of the Republican Party. That's what people told me I had to overlook and look at so I could take a look at where the Republican Party was going, and that's why I had to get on board with the Republicans, because Paul Ryan was the future. Now think about this, folks. Maybe for the first time in our lifetime, where the VP had a better plan than the presidential nominee. Now the better plan is to boot that plan and to go with Romney's plan, of which we don't really know what it is. What's the point of putting Paul Ryan on the ticket? What's the point? But I don't see that mentioned on the Drudge Report. I don't see it mentioned anywhere in the tried and true Republican websites. You're going to hear, if you hear about it, people like Rush and Hannity and Levin all making excuses for why, well, it was a bold political move. And Charles Krauthammer telling Paul Ryan to say that his plan is history and move on. This is the kind of insanity that we have in politics today. This is the kind of nonsense that gives us Johnny McAmnesty 2.0 in Mitt Romney. And I suppose that this is going to be yet another plan or an issue that has to be addressed or a bold move that has to be taken that will be addressed after the election. Because it's all about after the election. One of the reasons they say it's a good move is because Paul Ryan's plan is very specific. Mitt Romney's plan, not so much. And you know what that means in political speak? You'll be able to lie with greater ability. You'll be able to have a little bit more wiggle room. You'll be able to wink, wink, nod, nod to people. Well, that's what you thought I said, but that's not what I meant. Well, that may have been what I said, but this is what we're going to do. And the path to the future for the Republican Party was Paul Ryan.
The Jerry Doyle Show.
The path to prosperity. Call the plan history and move on. Well, what are those developing in the distance? Are those storm clouds? But we want rain on anybody's parade. 800-876-4123. Stick with me.
This is the Jerry Doyle Show.